most important key for them to be accepted abroad, especially the Western countries. They look at volunteering as important skills. They look at it as a black person with that volunteering, you are a Nelson Mandela. There's a Nelson Mandela in you. So you'll find if you get something, please get me a job. I did not get a job through please get me a job. I sent emails. Anything that I see, I sent. Is a breadwinner and the community don't talk about it because one is raped by a family member, relatives. These are things that people really don't talk about because they feel like this person is a breadwinner to bring a bad image to them.
Welcome to Rise and Impact podcast, where we celebrate the incredible young people who are changing the world one community at a time. Each episode, I will be interviewing the next generation of change makers just to explore their stories, their insights and achievements. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for you to be notified whenever we release an episode. This is the Rise and Impact podcast, and I'm your host, Elizabeth Julume.
Victoria, thank you so much for joining. So I just want to ask you, I'm very curious to know, can you maybe just tell us, your background, where did you grow up, where you schooled and all, just a brief of your background history that really motivated to be the great person that you are today.
Wow. Okay. Thank you very much, Elizabeth. So, I actually grew up in the city.
In Windhoek.
Yes, I grew up here in Windhoek, but I was born in the village. I was born in Ngela. So my mom relocated here while we were very young. So I grew up with mom, single mom, and 3 brothers. Yes. Okay. So my mom is the most inspiration in my life because from a very young age, she was not able to complete school, but her hard work put her where she is currently today. Willing to do anything. She used to work in a construction company. Yes, she always be like, we're one of the people that put tiles in Bank of Namibia. Yes, so she works in a construction, and currently she's working in a company that they built. That she was also working on with. Now she's employed after the construction was done. One of the managers saw how good willing she is. She's hardworking, and they spot that, and then they decided to hire her after the other contract ended. So she was immediately hired to the new company. So she's a whole inspiration in my life and the person that also contributing to how I am and choices that I'm making currently. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, that's very interesting. Can you maybe just give us as well a brief of what you're currently doing and okay, let me just maybe make it specific. Could you maybe just tell us more about your work that you are involved in when it comes to youth and women empowerment, or women empowerment in your community and all that, and what really inspired you to be? But definitely your mom that inspired you.
Yes. So I live in Havana. One of the informal settlements in Windhoek, and looking around, there is no really fun activities that is happening around the environment that can keep youth busy. So a lot of youth tend to doing things that are not beneficial. Can either be involved in alcohol, drugs, or anything, or theft, or it's not really encouraging much. Besides TV, maybe with nowadays technology now. So with me growing up, I became participating in different groups from a very young age. I remember from primary, when there's programs with life skill teacher. Yeah. I'm always the first one. Okay. When it has to come to with window of hope, I'm there. The red window, the what everything, I'm there. When the teacher be like, no, we want to do a drama related to life issues, rape and girls or teenage pregnancy, I'm there, because as much as we are living in denial, things are happening in our community. We live in an environment where people just look at this, it's nothing. When a young kid is pregnant, maybe the uncle is a breadwinner and the community don't talk about it because or one is raped by a family member, relatives. These are things that people really don't talk about, because they feel like this person is a breadwinner, to bring a bad image to them, and so the only option is to cover it up. And then one you as now the victim that went through, you are left with what is it? Suck it up, deal with it, because you can't even talk or open up. Especially our age, we didn't have more. There was window of hope, but they were not sharing it much as nowadays, to notice what is a bad touch, what is a good touch, who is doing a bad touch and who is doing a good touch. You only know you only know that this is life. You are a girl. Certain things you are not even told. Like if someone is touching you, it's a bad thing. Or if it's an uncle saying, "Oh, your breasts are grown," you know, and then beating you to butts. We just look at it. It's something normal, because you cannot say no. And most of our parents also has also accepted it like it's nothing wrong. So all those things have helped me to be participant or to be a member of different organization where I can just keep myself busy, because I like keeping myself busy doing something. So I felt like anything related to woman empowerment, anything related to youth empowerment, anything related to encouraging youth with disability, because I have two brothers that has a disability, and that's why I find myself in different areas. Yes, and then it's very, very good. That's why I'm a member in different NGOs and stuff.
Like in your previous like you touched on sexual health and how we like just involve like in the community members and the young person and all. So can you maybe just and like being sexual health being a topic that is like mostly neglected and being like a taboo topic, especially in the Vambu families or like the African families and all that. So what are some challenges that you face like while advocating for that, or on the project you work on your community and all that?
Personally speaking, I won't say I experienced challenge. Okay, there was a time where, because I started my period late, like when I was 16, and then my mom felt like there's something wrong with me. So she needed to go to someone to speak for advice, or she had to speak to one of our pastor's wife, and then she's like, and then the pastor's wife gave an example of her elder sister that she got her period while she was 18. So that was unfortunately the lucky part. At least she understood, because she felt like maybe I need to go to a doctor and shake my body so I can get my period. But unfortunately, I think that week that she was worried, I think only 2 or 3 or 4 weeks, or a month, maybe if I'm not mistaken, then my period also started. And so she had really sexual talk with me, and we had also some good health hygiene at church. They would talk about it as a I've seen most parents, they don't talk about to their daughters about health. And sexual health or the period part, they don't, menstruation at large, they don't talk about it. They don't even say, once you start getting your period as a young woman, how should you take care of yourself? You bath, your hygiene is needed, where if you know that the pad is filled, you cover it up and you throw it somewhere. They don't share that. That's why when you go in school, you find a girl's toilet is full of used toilet. One just used it was on the period, they take it off, just put it on the floor, so when you come in you can see someone's blood. And a lot of young people were not told how to sexual health, menstruation health. Like once you are on your period, you fold the pad nicely. If you should always try to carry a tissue along, where you can fold it and throw it also in the dustbin. For us, we're told like the most important thing is to bend your used pad. So in my case, I've been bending my pad. So what I do is I wrap it in, once I'm done, I wrap it in a not toilet paper, but in a newspaper. So those used newspaper is the one that I use to wrap it, because it helps it dry. And I put it in a plastic. So when I put it in a plastic, I wrap it in a newspaper, so it's easy for you to dry. And once I'm done and it dries off, I bend it. And then if you find yourself in an area where you can't bend, maybe you live for me it's easy to bend, because back then we used to use public toilet, and I can't always go to the toilet they say you can open it. There's a second option where you can open the pad, because you know the cover part, it's the one that doesn't flush, but inside it's just cotton. So you can open that, take out the blood cotton that is soaked with blood, and put it in the toilet pot and flush it. And then the cover part, it's your blood. You don't need to be disgusted or something. You just take it, you put it in either a bucket, bathtub, or a bathtub. You wash it off, and then once you clean off that blood, you throw away the remaining cover of the pad, and you throw it in a dustbin or wrap it in a toilet paper. And yeah, those are the two options that I was taught. So when I'm not home in another place where there is no private toilet, I can do that. But when I'm home, I wrap it in a newspaper, and it's the safest way also to keep your blood. It's your blood, and it's something that came out of you, and it came out of the place where you give birth, so those are the things that most youth or young women are not aware of, and they are not well educated. That's why in most things they just, from the period, it's disgusting. I don't know, it's out of my body, but remember, it's your blood. And then a lot of us also, we find ourselves where we have heavy flow, pain period, but where we throw our it's our blood, our pets, we tend to be very careless. You went out of the party, you feel like just if you even go at the north now, you'll find someone had period, they put their used pad, the toilet in the north, they are built with bricks, and sometimes there's hole, so that's where they filled. So if you go around the shower, it's filled with used pads. That's where they make it as they are. They don't even throw it in the toilet pot where those dig pots, they have hole. You can throw it in.
Latrine.
Yes, you can throw it in there
latrine,
if you are lazy. No, they put it just in those holes that are connecting the bricks, building the shower. I've seen that most they do that.
And I think these
or
are
they
some
throw
of
it
like the
everywhere.
important conversations that we need to have. It's like, so what really like inspired you to be because you are so much like informed when it comes to sexual health and these talks and all that. So what really inspired you like to go into this just to venture in that?
Well, I've decided, like, since it has to do with sharing information, educating people, including humanitarian work, people getting to know what to do with themselves in our environment. I felt like it's for me to go there and get information and share with people that I meet, fellow young women. I'm the only woman amongst my brothers. I don't have a sister, and most of my cousins are also guys. So I don't really have a conversation with about ladies issue, beside maybe my mom, but she's also not also available full time. So in most cases that I have to find that space is when I go out in those groups, and then you find this one is having this issue, and then and with the knowledge that you have gained through participating, you share your views or point of view, like this is how it is, and this is how you find yourself in. Because when you start getting your period, it's peer pressure. You are at high school, people are having girlfriends, people are having boyfriends, but the reality is my upbringing from the religion helped me to tackle challenges that I face, and also to make decision on what do I want in my life. So it helped, it motivated me. I was having that confidence and self-esteem, where you find yourself thinking about, Vicky, you don't have a boyfriend, you're boring and stuff like that. I had answers to respond to them. Like, everyone is, we all have a life to live.
Exactly.
And everyone has their own opinion. And it doesn't mean if you have a girlfriend or boyfriend, doesn't mean I also need to. You decided that you want that. That is good for you. So the way I have also respected you, and I don't question you why you have a boyfriend, so why you question me about why I don't have a boyfriend, So with that, it helped me also just keep myself from a lot of things. I was not really interested in that's why even if I find myself in a group of girls and they start, who is hot, who is what, I'm like, oh my god, I feel like I'm in a different environment, because when you're with your brothers or cousins, you guys don't really talk about such things. So that's why I say there's a difference between girls that grew up with boys and girls that grew up with girls.
Yeah.
So they grew up with girls, so there'll be a lot of gossiping.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
that grew up with guy, when you talk about someone else and it's not really beneficial, it tends to be a boring topic.
Yeah.
And and all you'll be like, oh, okay, really? Oh, I didn't know. You know,
Yeah.
because I feel like, what is the use of us discussing about this person, because it's
exactly.
not really useful. So with that, it helped me also make choices in life, and it also made me to think that one thing that youth or teenage should know, when you find yourself in that moment of feelings and what sex will never get out of fashion. That's just the reality.
Yeah.
It has been there, it will continue to be there. And there's also this thing they say, Kama, if you try to what? If you try to have sex at the late stage, you become sexual active or whatever else. But it's a good stage because you are older and you are making decision on your own, because you are no more, you are tertiary, you are about to get a job, so you are no more a teenager where you are worried about teenage pregnancy. So this, you are in adulthood, so it's a good stage for you to be also sexual active because you are at that stage. So there's nothing wrong with that. And watching also these Disney stuff, Nickelodeon things on TV, we tend to forget what we learn on the screen. Because if you see those people, they don't, beside kissing, you've never seen those teenage people having sex. And if you do research, they are dating, but just to find out this person break their virginity at the age of 20 or 21. But in social media, you are reading news, Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez dating, or the Jonas Brothers. You know, you are reading all those things they are dating. But we black people, when we think of dating, we think of sex. That's why when you start having a boyfriend, it goes beyond kissing. It's no more kissing and hugging. It's more kissing and And some at that stage you're not ready, and the reason why also you find sometimes you realize that sometimes these people even stay longer in relationship. They stay really long in relationship compared to ours. Because when we started ours at the young age, it was no more of us being together, thinking about what do you want to do. You know, Elizabeth, what is your vision? Okay, how about you finish school, and then when do you think we can have, intimate, when you can get intimate? Is it now or is it tertiary? You work on that. There's no such decision. I love you, you are hot, you have a big body, you have a nice butt, you're beautiful, it's all
just
that.
all those unnecessary topic.
And that's also the reason why there was high teenage pregnancy during COVID. Why? Because they tend, I'm going to study with Lucas. Lucas in the room tend to something else in touching and the feelings, and people went through all those stages. We should also think that the reason why most of our parents are strict to us, they were also 16. So they know what goes through 16. And the best decision that you can make for yourself as a teenager is to know what do you want. And how do I avoid if I find myself in a situation? Because you will have a crush, you admire, you'll be liked, but how do you work on that as a young woman? You find yourself in a situation like this. And another thing, avoid being influenced by friends. Peer pressure is very high. But one thing you should know is most of you meet at school. On your journey back home, you guys go separate ways. From the school gate, you are walking the same way, but along the way, everyone say, "Oh, I'm here, I'm going here." That is already telling you that the most important thing is when we meet at school, we talk about school, because outside school, there's our lives, and that's where most things happen. And we are from different houses, background. We should never compare ourselves. You as a young person doesn't mean just because Elizabeth has a girlfriend you need, or because Vicky has a boyfriend you should also have. It doesn't mean like that. It's your life. If you don't want it, you can say no. And if you also build that mutual respect with your friends and colleagues, they will respect your opinion. And even when you find yourself falling or doing something wrong, they will correct you, like, Vicky, why are you doing that? You're not that type. Why? So when you do that, they'll get to understand you and give you that respect and not force things on you.
That's very true.
So
that's very true. And I think like one of the challenges that we as young people go through is that, like, when we see like a person having a boyfriend, like, we all want to be fun and we all want to fit in, and I think that is really one of like the thing like that I also like went through, like like growing up, because like you're seeing your friends having boyfriends and dating and attending all these parties, and then one thing about me is that I don't like to be forced, and I don't do things because other people are doing
Exactly,
it.
yeah.
I don't do things because people are forcing me to. I will do a thing when if I want to.
Yes.
And people always
On
like
my own terms.
on my own terms. And people always, Elizabeth, you are so boring. Like, what can't you do something to spice up your life? Can't you, like, why are you so boring? You are even like people like they were so free to tell me that Elizabeth, you are so boring. Your life is so, just because you are not dating and just because you are not involved, you don't do drugs, you don't do what, and like I grew up in an environment where it's most like influenced with drugs, like in the southern region, the southern of Namibia, and that is one of the places that is known as, like, if you go left, you are from the south, you either use drugs, you are a criminal, and you will fall pregnant and such things. But then, like, even my family, like my, not my immediate family, but like my other extended family, they were like, Elizabeth is definitely going to fall pregnant. That because she went to the south. But then the one thing I think I'm so grateful is that I realized earlier what I wanted out of life.
Exactly, yes.
And I knew what I wanted to do out of life. And that's why it was so difficult, like, to be kind of influenced to do things because people are doing it. And I think like that is really like a challenge that we as young people like go through, and to overcome it, like for you to kind of like it's really like a challenge.
Yeah. And people, I've turned boring into, I feel like when someone say and come to me and say, you doing that, it's boring. You also going to drink and doing something, it's boring for me because I'm not benefiting anything.
Exactly.
You feel like you are filling a void in your life. That's why you go drink. For me, I fill my void with something else that I feel like it's beneficial. Let me give an example. For me, if I'm not working, if I'm not doing anything tangible, I get depressed. And then people will be like, Vicky, you are everywhere. It's not because I'm everywhere, but me doing those things, it feeds my soul. It helps me. It rejuvenates me. It helps me to think beyond. And also another way of being creative, to think besides only these. There's also space out there, for me. Because one thing, our population is very small, and there's space enough for everyone to do whatever they want, to be versatile as much as they want, with no limitation. It's just that we tend to allow what people will say have an effect on our life. Because if you do something different, it's always boring. But because everyone is doing it, it's the right thing. But for me also, I'm also seeing, because everyone is doing it, it's the wrong way, and my way, it's the right way. But if you don't want to accept my way as the right way, then at least give me that respect that this is how Vicky is, so just deal with it the same way I've, like, that's how they get, feel their weight, or they feel like they are right. I'ma let you be right. You are right in your way. In me too, I'm also right. And then we live. It's life. Everyone is entitled to their opinion and the way they see things. So my way can never work with you. But I have to accept, and your way can never work with me. But I have to accept that this is how Elizabeth is. And if I need something, because in life we're interdependent, there will be a time that I need something, or I need to work something with Elizabeth. But beside all what like and dislike, we need to put it aside and focus on the most tasks that you want to complete at hand. And I think it's more of, they say, we are failing to discover ourselves. Once you find your purpose on earth, or why you are living, you won't be living a useless life, or living on people's terms. You will be living on your terms, because the reality is that if I die now, you won't follow me in the grave. So why should I follow everything that you tell me to do? Instead, I'm gonna follow what I feel like it's good for me, because at the end, I'm going in my own grave alone. Yours is just to come and put the flower of me. So you won't say, if Vicky die now and you loved or you like so much Vicky, you follow. You won't do that. You won't. And or neither will say, oh, Vicky's gone now. You won't. You are lying. You'll be like, oh, she died too young. And there's so much. We are so much on social media that the reality, it doesn't exist, and it's so. The word is more like, it's so fake that we start comparing. Memes now have turned into, it turned into a reality show. It's like a joke thing, and everything. It's just like it's no more real. You tend to be like, I'm there, but it's not. It's just so. At the end, everyone is entitled to their opinion, and what works for you doesn't mean it needs to work with me, and what works with me doesn't mean it needs to work. At the end, we just need to respect each other. This is how she is, and avoid judging, pointing fingers like, yeah, what she's doing is boring. You just find someone who'll be like, yeah, this person I've been doing this is always there. Have you ever find the reason why that person is doing the same thing over and over? You know, we are failing to question things, but we just have a conclusion of what we hear. We are listening to much of what we hear. What did I hear about Elizabeth is ABC, so I put you as ABC. What I hear about Vicky is CD, so I put you as CD. But you don't really go dive deep, like, who is Vicky? Who is the person behind these, as they say, it's Vicky? How do I get to know? Now we just accept Elizabeth is like that, and when you see Elizabeth come to you, oh, Elizabeth, oh, you heard already. So even when you start talking to me, trying to tell me about yourself, I already have a picture of who you are. So you talking to me, it's not making sense.
It's true.
And by the time I try to get to know you, it's too late. And then that's when you are now going back. Oh, so if I could have done this, at least I could known Elizabeth better. So
that's very okay. So like it's maybe like I'm a young person and I really want to know more about like these topics, you know, this when it comes to sexual health and all that, just to be educated more, you know. So like, where do I go, or what process do I get involved in, like what youth groups do I get involved in, or like where do I start?
Well, nowadays there's a lot of organizations that are being sponsored by the United Nations that is running, and also other companies that is running in our country that people are really not aware of. Because I've seen that the adolescent young woman program, it's running out there. It's out there in the community. It's just that most of us, we don't have information to search. It's running in most constituency, in Commerce region, at the councillor's office. Things are being shared, and most of us also, we are shutting off such information. Because we have groups like the one that's active. We have a program that's deal with women. It's Dreams, and it's under Project Hope, and it also have other programs also empowering young women and also young men in general and stuff like that. So we have Dreams. We have with boys, there's male circumcision, the smart card. They also give education on sexual health as men, and also and then we have AfriYan. AfriYan is a young organization. It's a youth organization run by youth. So that also they give health education, how to take care of yourself, sexual reproductive. And then we have I think also some programs run by, there's also Staff Alive. Staff Alive give also health education. There is Intra Health, and then we have Lifeline, Childline. There's a lot of organization that gives. It's just that it's not well marketed, because most of these several NGOs, they are being sponsored, and so depending on the availability of the funds, they are able to reach out there. But they do reach out like to councillors' office, I think also radios and stuff like that. It's just that when you hear a topic talking about sexual health, HIV, STIs, you feel like I've heard it already in life science. I've heard it already in biology, and these are the things why people, when they hear such, they don't want anymore to participate. But with me, I've participated in every program that deals with HIV. I'll go. Whether it's and you know, in high school it was Staff Alive. I was a member. I was a secretary for Staff Alive in my school, and we even ended with where we end up going for camp. We met some student from Sweden. So I've been really active in everything that has to do. I'm active. Whenever they say people need to participate, I'm there. And these are things that people need to do. Like open-minded is the key. Being open-minded is the most precious thing that one can have because you are able to put up and accept anything, whether you know or you don't know. Because a lot of us are living an ignorant life, especially youth. They pretend to know, but they don't know anything. We pretend because we have access to social media, we have Google, we know everything, but we really don't know. And we can only get to broaden our skills when we are open enough to attend anything. It doesn't mean if you did business, do only something related to business administration. You need to do something. You need to be versatile. It doesn't mean because you did science, you don't need to be involved in the economy. You need, because all these things, they intersect each other, they support each other, they're interdependent. And you need to have a knowledge on something. You know, you need to pick, you know, just basic knowledge on something. It's something, it's called life. You need to know something. You just can't be, you think like you know. And most of us, we pretend to know because we watch meme or something like, I know. I read the meme. It's not like that, but it's the opposite. So youth need to go out there. They need to go out there and see what is out there in youth empowerment, woman empowerment, men empowerment. It's out there. It's just that people are not active. And especially they will be like, no, the boy child is not the boy child. Things are being planned, things are happening. It's just that people also that are planning or that they are doing the activation are not active enough because they feel like men are not interested in such things. Where it's a man said also a man is not interested in going for counseling and stuff because I feel like, oh, what the net, you know, why should I'm a man, I'm strong, you know. So with that also mindset has it also made people not to be active in certain areas. But things are really out there. It's just that a lot of us don't have access to it. Things are also not well published, like posters. You know, the way we see a poster at the notice board, whether it's counseling or just in a street.
I don't even read.
If I say something, okay, fine. If I say something, but sometimes we also feel like besides you getting to know about sexual health education, there are other benefits. In the long run, we learn to learn skills, employment skills, business skills, financial skills, and which is something that most of the sponsors are focusing on. They educate you on how to take care of yourself as a young woman, as a young man, and also step to take into become a successful person in employment if you want to be employed for the rest of your life, or if you want to become a business person. But now, for them to go there, they need to teach you a basic thing. Let me give an example for now when it comes to gender-based violence. We have young woman coming from the village. The boyfriend say, come stay with me. I have a place here, Windhoek is beautiful, come. Then they are cohabiting. When the girl come here, you are told, no, you can come finish your school, study, and also get yourself a job. So a girl leaving the village, she's coming to the boyfriend, but with the mindset, I'm also going to work, make money, and study. But the reality is when they come, the guy become controlling. They'll be like, I am the one that is supporting you, so you do as I'm said. If you don't give me sex, I don't buy you cosmetics, you know. So this person is now cornered to be submissive to anything to the boyfriend because he's a supplier. And this person is not even allowed to leave the house. Do you understand? Even going out, is sneaking out like, I'm going to the shop or I'm going, but it's going to a youth group to go and attend something, or it's going to something because she realized she's benefiting something. So what is the way for me to improve this person's life? It's also to tell them how to defend themselves, to protect themselves, but I should have a backup plan on how they can equip themselves through employment or business, because you cannot forever just depend on this guy. And soon this guy will look down on you, and then later on when they look down on you, they will start bringing in other girlfriends saying, meet my friend, meet my sister, you know, and you sleep on the floor, he may sleep on the bed with the same person while you are, you know, and then you have a child again with this person. So one is forced to have, besides just an escape plan, because I can't go anywhere. I'm living with this boyfriend. I can't go to my auntie's house. I can't go to my uncle. So there's no way to there's no rescue, because most of the services, they really offer counseling, but besides counseling, I'm going back to the same house and there's no escape plan. So in most cases, they try now also to bring that ideas, economic strengthening, to strengthen this, so they find opportunity, and then the time when it's right and you are sorted that now I have a job, it's now a good escape plan to leave that person and go find a place where you can pay with the money that you are working. That's very true.
Okay, so like this statement, like volunteerism, like it's very important and all that, and like we as young people, like I think we don't really understand what volunteerism is and like how it can benefit us and all. So what do you think? Why do you think, like, what are some of the most important skills, or why do you think young people should get into volunteerism, and like where they should start and all that?
A lot of people in Namibia really don't understand the importance of volunteering. And I've seen that people have volunteered but they don't even include it in their CV. So there's something different from private schools and public schools. Yes, public school, you find there's different activities going on, but you won't find it full because they don't promote it as an important thing. Some people feel like it's a waste. In private school, sometimes they make it as a must, because it's a beneficial for scholarship if you want. That's why most scholarships are available for private kids. If you want a scholarship, you need at least 300 or 200 300 hours of volunteering something. So for me, back then I didn't also know, but I liked participating in clubs. So if it's girls club, I'm there. What I'm there. As long as it's related to motivation, speaking besides sports, I'm there. But at the same time also, one needs to find what they like, because you find there's sport, there's clubs, there's music sometimes, there's also choir, so you find whatever it is that is working with you, and every activity that you participate, it's an experience that one can attach on their CV, and these are things that people don't know. So volunteering is very broad. I've been volunteering my whole life, and even after completing school, I began to volunteer also. And the most volunteering experience that I have been is when I used to help people get scholarship. Now imagine I only have high school. I didn't go to tertiary, and I'm volunteering, working, and because there was someone that I didn't understand. Because back then when I completed high school, whatever I wanted to study was not at the university, so it didn't motivate me much to get that. So besides that, people feel like when you're volunteering, you're gonna remain at the same stage forever, but it's actually a stepping stone. They say a long journey begins with one step. So same apply with a building, a tall skyscraper. It didn't just go there. They started from the foundation going up. It's the same thing also of life. Life is a learning journey, and we need to broaden our minds to learn new things. So I when I got employed at this company, it was run by
that was after high school.
Yeah, after high school, I've done a lot of work. I've worked in Vroom as a cashier. I was the youngest even in Vroom. When I got a job, people in my environment were not happy because they felt like I'm forsaking school and focusing on work. But the reality is, I was working on something on myself. It has nothing to do with school or what. That is something I'll always go back to school. I'm not running away, but I'm working on myself also, and discovering myself. And the most key was that I met someone that told me that as long as you are not ready, you will never. As long as you are not ready, you will never be in tertiary institute. Meaning you never, that environment, you will not experience it as long as you are not ready. I didn't understand the statement until at that stage I understand like what today now I'm understanding that if today I could have gone tertiary studying or something, after immediately, because I didn't get good points, but if I could have done, which is qualified for a certificate or something, I could have been studying something and in a wrong field and feeling trapped. But with my journey, it helped me discover a lot of things and be open. That's why a lot of people, when they meet you, they'll be like, you're a young person, but you have an old version in you. Like you have experienced life in a long time. But it's just those things that I've learned. So that was my first job. And then after that, I was publishing in a company called Fortune Publishing. We were sales and marketing. We were sales representative, and we also marketers. So we go to radios, we go to TVs, and we visit CEOs to have P's in magazines and everything and stuff like that. And then we were marketing for a great show where the late Oliver Tukuzi has to perform. So I was part of the show. We had to organize. I was part of the organizer and everything. It's a great experience. All that was just through volunteering. Beside them giving you like a pocket tax money and stuff like that. And then so I met a lot of people. I networked with a lot of business people, high influential people. I met them through that. So after that, I went now to be employed in it's a company owned by an Angolan man, and he was the one that taught me and discovered that what I was doing was important, the importance of volunteering. And he trained us on gaining work experience, how to network. He trained us leadership. He's the one that built my leadership skills and networked me to a lot of things, but I was still a volunteer. Now during that process, I was a scholarship coordinator. First I became as a marketer, sales representative. We were 8 that were employed. We were 2 girls and 6 boys. Now beside that, a lot of people quit because it was on commission. So it's according to how many people you get, that's how you get paid. So a lot of people quit, and I was remaining with 2 boys and then 1 girl. And then after a few months, the other one also got another job as a sales representative in another company to advertise books and stuff like that. And then the other guy got an opportunity to go study. To go work in the UK. So I was remaining. I was the only one remaining, the only girl, the only sales representative. And then later on, in the long run, I was given up, still just volunteering as a scholarship coordinator. So with that, I come up with action plan. I used to write. I learned how to write motivational letters. The importance of volunteering. I used to send people out. I got different kinds of companies where I can send these youth to go volunteer, because it's the most important key for them to be accepted abroad, especially the Western countries. They look at volunteering as important skills. They look at it as a black person with that volunteering. You are a Nelson Mandela. There's a Nelson Mandela in you. So I had to mold them. I had to mentor them. And then I found myself also helping with the work, helping people get jobs, internship. I believed in them. I only have a grade 12, but I believe in their dreams because I felt like they deserve better. I will apply for them. They'll get jobs. Then here they think you are working, but I'm working. I'm striving actually for better for them. I didn't care as long as they progress in life, because I felt like they didn't know certain skills that one needs to have to go there. So with me, I felt like, okay, fine, let me help them, let me assist them. It's a good thing. Let them do, because I believe in them. They're smart. They can go further with these skills. So I began to help people find. I also find myself, because this man also told me that his world first paying job was through networking, and through that's when I discovered to use my phone as an object to find opportunity of either volunteering or attending workshop. So I follow embassy pages, different embassy, different like British High Commission, US Embassy, all those. I follow those important organizations. So I see Buta Institute, whatever, anything that in case they post something. If they post something, a free conference, a free workshop, I go there, attend, I network, I meet people that can, lead me to my next stage. Because he said his world first paid was through a friend of a friend. So for instance, we just met like this, you and Elizabeth, and you tell me, no, I'm studying computers, and oh great, there was an opportunity where. And then this person, no, I'm looking for someone in computer. Oh, I have, you're not close to that person, but yes, that's how he said he said his first world paid job was through networking. So the volunteering, it's a broad way, and it's very important that people, when they go out there, they become open-minded. You don't start complaining, all right? Because remember, most of us, when you also write our CVs, we're like, I'm hardworking. But when the pressure comes, you start complaining, I'm not even getting paid, but I saw a lot of money, you know, all those things. But remember, when you applied, you knew very well that you'd be volunteering, but you needed to also open your mind that this is a stepping stone that I'm stepping to gain experience, because jobs are applying, asking for 4 years experience. Where will you get that? You only get it. Most of us from high school were not told the importance of volunteering. That's why in your first year, second year, third year, only studying. When it's holiday time, I'm going to my mother at the village. I'm going at the, you know, you are not told that from the first year already, majoring in whatever it is that you want to study, you need to find companies in what you're studying. Write them emails. We have the directorate that is free at Telecom. You can go there, page through those pages, see the company that you know that you are interested, and send them emails. Visit them. Nowadays they're also old school. Go to those schools. I mean, go to those companies, whatever industries. Go them, approach them. This is my CV. I'd want to volunteer. Volunteer doesn't mean a 5 to 8 job. It can be 2 hours in a day where you just assist. Even cleaning sometimes, it doesn't time. Sometimes they will even test you. They will even ask you, please go clean that toilet to see how will you do. Student, I'm a bachelor, I'm going to study what, and this is, you know, they will look at such little things to see, is she or he able to tackle certain things that they are given, duty that they are given. And that's even where they look at attitude. Most of us use the attitude. We have this thing that I'm educated, I don't need to listen to an old person, or I know things, you know, I've googled, I've watched video on YouTube, you know, that things. And it's the thing that's blocking most of us and making us be stranded or where we are today. So we need to go out there, we need to try all means, visit, you know, we have those that are into politics. How often do you visit the parliament? Have you ever been in the parliament? Most of people think parliament is you paid, but you don't. You just can, you are a Namibian, you just go, enter and listen to what they are doing. It's totally free. So we need, as youth, we need to be broad and we need to be open and go visit those companies. Go volunteer, do something. You cannot say, you'll find if you get something, please get me a job. I did not get a job through please get me a job. I sent emails. Anything that I sent, anything that I see, I sent. And one of my friends also told me that his cousin got a job through just sending emails. He doesn't have experience. He just have, I think, a high school certificate. Anything he just sent, he just applied. Why? That person is telling you that he's capable of doing anything. Whether he qualifies, he can learn. Because no one is born just knowing a driving license or knowing something. It's a learning journey. And some companies they have funds for capacity building. They can train their own people. But it all has to do with your attitude and your willingness to change. But the moment you are stubborn and arrogant, and also another thing is that as much as you know much, don't be that person that knows a lot, where you are in the field like, it's not what I studied. You know, nowadays graduates will be like, it's not what I studied. What you study is not what you find in the field. You know, that is theory, the other one is practical. So as much as you are well educated, more than the person that is directing you, you should be willing to listen, know when to speak, when to ask, and when if you don't understand, also try to find out, okay, you know, question things. But be sensible, you know. You just don't do things because, I'm educated, I know ABC. It's B, it's supposed to be C here. No. Watch and see. But where you see it's really wrong, also ask in a good way that you are correcting, and also trying to find out, is it how we do it? Alright, what happened to, they said something, you know? You are using a theory. Also, when you also encourage someone and you see you don't want to offend someone, you use a theory, you use a story. You use a story like, have you heard of this? What? You just don't get straight to the point, you know. So people should also learn how to approach people, and also so through volunteering you really learn a lot. You learn to present, to talk,
and those are
improve your
skills that
communication
you pay
skills.
for if you want to learn.
So anywhere that you feel like you want to work or wherever you want to be, go out there and try. Don't say I've not seen a vacancy in the newspaper, I've not seen in a vacancy group, or I've not heard anything. But try by all, believe in yourself, you know. Believe in yourself. You say see something where people don't see anything, so go out there, find it. You'll just, because there's space for everyone, we just don't see it, and we are crowded with a mask of disbelief and mindset of if it's not there, it's not existing, you know. And also what people say, like, yeah, nowadays this is just our life, my dear, there's no jobs there. Yeah, the government is broke, and the, you know, everything. You need to look beyond that.
Exactly.
Because the moment you put yourself in that corner, you remain like that, you know. People look at me and they look at, oh, Vicky is always what